Hi, and welcome to this short video on managing change. Change is one of those things that we often look for in business and in our personal lives, and sometimes we're just not making the progress that we'd like. So I want to show you a simple tool that helps you to get your head around the areas you might want to focus on in order to do a better job of managing change. And it's this simple model which is MVP, which is, I guess, the three components we need to think about initially. And this is a simple model. I've got a more complex model I'll explain to you in a minute. So the simple model says if we're going to manage change, then we need to think about our level of motivation. So in that is we want to think about how dissatisfied are we with the status quo, and often we use dissatisfaction instead of motivation in this model, but motivation most people seem to understand a bit better. So how motivated are we to change? Because if we really don't want to change, then a lot of other things that we do won't matter because we're just not going to do it. So what level of motivation do we or the people involved in the change have to make that change happen? The second thing is, if you're motivated, if you don't have a clear vision for where you're heading, so if you don't have a clear endpoint where you're aiming for and a clear understanding of what the benefits are going to be at the other end, then of course you're going to struggle to make the change as well. So you need to have motivation, you need to have a clear vision, and then finally, even if you have the motivation and a clear vision, if you don't have a good plan, then you're going to struggle to put that change into place. So what we get you to do is just to ask these three questions and score yourself out of 10 for each of these. So you start to say, okay, so how motivated am I out of a score of 10 where 10 is highly motivated and 0 is not motivated at all? Give yourself a score. Then you go to vision. What's our vision like? And if our vision is not well documented, you can't score more than 7. So it's got to be written down and clearly articulated for you to score more than 7. So a really well documented and clearly articulated vision for where you're heading will be a 10, and having nothing written down, just a couple of things in your head, is a 0 or a 1. Yeah. And then finally the plan. And again, unless your plan is really well documented and you can easily communicate it to others, then it won't score more than a 7 on my scale. So, and literally, if you've got nothing written down and don't really have a plan, have no idea what you're going to do, you'll score a 0. A slight idea of what you're going to do, it's a 1. So give yourself a score in each of those areas. Now you can multiply them together to get an understanding of your change potential. So you might have it's out of 1,000, 10 by 10 by 10. So you might end up with 200 out of 1,000. And that could be one element that's 10 and the other two are a 4 and a 5 will give you your 200. And therefore you can think, well, what do I need to work on? I need to work on the elements I've got, the 4 and the 5. I need to work on those because I'm already at 10 and another one. Now, the corollary to that is if you're a 0 in anything, then the chances of making any significant change are pretty low, if not negligible, if not 0. And likewise, if you're down in single digits with them, then your chances of making change are going to be very slow. So use this as a focus to go, okay, what do I need to do? Then come up with 3 actions to improve each of those areas where you need to work on. Okay, so that's a simple model: motivation, vision, and plan. All right. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can actually we've got a far more complex change model, which is based on Dr. Chris Mason's PhD thesis. And this was looking at success in change across hundreds of business managers across some global companies, where they looked at the factors that were statistically relevant in terms of getting change success. We've got an online diagnostic that takes you through this whole process. So you can actually go on, answer 20 or so simple questions where you rate different elements of your business, and it'll come back and tell you the change success area that you need to work on. So it's a far more complex model than our really simple DVP model. All right, so if you want some more tools and tricks on helping to grow your business, then go to our Shift website. Under free resources there, you'll also find our change success diagnostic. Please just feel free to use that, and it will give you a detailed report on the things that you need to do to focus on improving your change. All right, I hope that's been useful, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.